Let's continue our conversation, our friendly debate with Rabin-Havt, the host of The Agenda on Sirius XM Radio, former aide to Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, and from our Newsmax newsroom in South Florida, the newly bewhiskered Javier Manjarres, managing editor of the Shark Tank political blog. Ari, has the president picked up an important ally in so-called immigration reform with the Archbishop of Chicago?
Look, I think the Catholic Church in general has really not shied away from taking positions on these issues. They take positions on issues like abortion, on gay marriage, where I think progressives disagree with them. They take issues on immigration reform, on issues of feeding the poor, which tend to, in terms of public policy, which tend to line up more with democratic positions. They were against the Iraq War. They're against the death penalty. I think this isn't a shock that the Archbishop of Chicago took this position.
Javier, your take on the Archbishop's take?
I'm just wondering if, like Ari mentioned, gay marriage, if gay marriage is also on God's agenda, what the Archbishop feels about that. I mean, this is him just bloviating on an issue that, again, and you're right, President Obama is going to use this is his new best friend in Chicago. Again, go figure, he's from Chicago. Wonder how well the two know each other. But again, this is just the Archbishop just talking out of his mouth and not saying much, but pushing an immigration reform agenda that President Obama has just signed those executive orders on. That's all this is.
Well, let's talk about its impact on what is going to happen politically within the Republican Party, Javier. Continued split within the GOP moving well into 2016 on immigration, quote, immigration reform, or most of us who call it amnesty.
Yeah, this is the wedge issue everyone's going to be using. This is the wedge issue Democrats are hoping will take down the Republicans and bite into their majority. Again, mentioned Marco Rubio. He's going to have a tough go at it. Even though he is turning on that issue, he's coming back to the right, if you would. He's going to have an issue with people like Ted Cruz and other conservatives who are staunchly against immigration reform, but not so much immigration reform, but illegal immigration reform.
Well, mindful of that and often lost in this, and Ari, you used to work for Harry Reid, count them, 4 Democratic senators are opposed to what President Obama has done now. How much will this figure in Democratic discussions moving ahead to 2016?
I don't know. I think there's a pretty standard position in the Democratic Party. I think Barack Obama is right in the middle of it there, of that position. I think the immigration reform executive orders fit that mold of that position. I think, look, I agree with Javier. I think Marco Rubio has a tough go of it in terms of Republicans. And the reason has nothing to do with his position, has more to do with another politician I worked with. Let's call it the John Kerry problem. When you were for it before you were against it, it makes people think, what's his real position?
Absolutely.
So what does he do, Javier? I mean, this thing, the Gang of 8, is tied around Senator Rubio's neck. How does he turn this into a necktie instead of a noose, metaphorically speaking?
Well, look, what he's going to have to do is come out and apologize and say he screwed up. Bottom line, he can't tiptoe around this. He's already said that he is for a piecemeal approach, but before he was for this comprehensive approach. It's going to be, like I said, a tough go at it for him, but I think he can get past this if he just comes clean and shows the American people how honest he is on this issue and where he really lies on this issue. And then he'll still have a problem with other conservatives like Ted Cruz, who have been hardcore hawkish pro-immigration on this.
10 seconds to Ari. Ari, the Hillary juggernaut just continues on the Democrat side for 2016?
I guess so. I don't see anybody else really emerging, so that train keeps rolling on.
Well, we will continue to take a look at that and have more. Gentlemen, thanks to you both, and we'll be right back.